who are the prospective buyers, or who's the right buyer for an FL5 Honda Civic Type R? I think the second type of buyer for the FL5 Honda Civic Type R, and first things first,
love, there's hate, lies and games, faith.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to discuss who are the prospective buyers, or who's the right buyer for an FL5 Honda Civic Type R. I'm making this video because I feel like a lot of you don't really understand what this car is, or what it's capable of, or who the right or prospective buyer is, right? Because I think from like the older Honda Civic Type Rs, is specifically in the US, the FK8 Type R, I think that one came off more boy racer-ish, and because of, you know, what the aftermarket has been for Hondas in the past in the US and North America, I would say, and I would say almost worldwide really at this point. Like, I've seen a lot of comments, people say, oh, Hondas are for racers and for boy racers and yada, yada, yada. Well, I'm here to tell you that this FL5 Honda Civic Type R is not any of that. It's very unique in of itself, and its buyer is kind of a unique buyer. So let's jump into this. All right, now as you guys can see, first and foremost, I'm a family man. So I have a wife and I have 3 children. And this is our main vehicle. We have a 2024 Mazda CX-90. It's a 3rd-row SUV, and that's our main vehicle. And then, like, for me, whenever I have to, you know, my daily driver basically is a Volkswagen Golf GTI. And I'll do a whole video on who the prospective buyers are for these cars as well. But for me, it's a perfect daily driver. It's fun, it's fast, it's tunable. You know, for somebody like me that's 6'6", it's, you know, it fits. I fit in here perfectly, and it's luxurious enough and does everything that I need to where it's a great daily driver. But it doesn't have as much space, and it doesn't feel as special as our FL5 Type R. So when you get in here, you're greeted with these red seats, the red flooring, you know, the red guts, as 100 Gang Nate would say. Shout out to the whole MOC, by the way. Shout out to 100 Gang Nate, Blueprint One Lee, Q to Chaotic. Also shout out to Race Car 21. Like, I was just going back and forth with him, messaging. He knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, you haven't gotten me back yet, and hopefully never. Shout out to Will Motivation. You know, we got some big things happening with him soon. But yeah, let's get back into the video. So this is a more special feeling car, and it does have more space interior wise. So I have the seats pushed all the way back. You can still see like 2 grown adults could still fit in the back there pretty comfortably. And me, in my profession, I am a content creator as well as a photographer. So you see, that's my photography equipment, fits in the back here perfectly. Now, what category do I fit in as far as a prospective buyer for the Honda Civic Type R? I would say I'm the family man that likes to also have fun, likes to, like, I'm a car enthusiast, so I enjoy the actual driving feel of a car. So the way a car drives matters a lot to me. Like I test drove the GR Corolla, and I had a Subaru WRX STI, and I realized as I got older, those cars weren't really for me. They're fun, they're a whole lot of fun to drive, but there's a certain precision missing in those cars that you do get with the Golf GTI and with the Honda Civic Type R. But let's get into some of who the other buyers are. All right, so we went over the first type of buyer for the FL5 Honda Civic Type R, which is the family person that is also a car enthusiast, you know, somebody that likes to do spirited weekend driving and stuff like that. I think the second type of buyer for the FL5 Honda Civic Type R is just the Honda enthusiast. There's some people that just love Hondas, and they're gonna get, you know, instead of Mazda CX-90, they'll probably have the the Honda Odyssey, or the Honda Ridgeline or something like that. And then they would also have a Honda FL5 Honda Civic Type R. So those are like just like the pure. There's some people, like I said, Honda has a huge fan base of just pure Honda enthusiasts. And shout out to Honda Pro Jason. He's one of those guys. Like, he's commented on a couple of our videos. So yeah, Honda Pro Jason, he's the type of person that would purchase a Honda Civic Type R, right? So he's another type of buyer. Those are another type of buyers. The third type of buyers is just the pure driving enthusiasts, like the pure driving enthusiasts that they have the knowledge, they know about what cars are capable of. Because most people, they'll see this Honda Civic Type R and they'll be like, oh, it's just a Civic, there's nothing special. And then they'll look at it and they'll be like, red seats, all right, that's nice. But then they drive and they feel that manual gearbox and they're like, whoa, this is a little bit different. And then when they realize the tuning potential and just how well built of a car it is, then, you know, the average person's like, okay, this is something special. Down to like everything from like the heat extraction on the hood there, to how they did the mesh grill there for the intercooler to get air, and so on and so forth. For me, coming from, you know, I've had Camaro SS1 Elise, I've had Subaru WRX STIs, Subaru WRXs, Golf Rs. Like, I understand how well built and how purpose built this Honda Civic Type R is. Like, from them putting, you know, the turbo right in front here, and, you know, so if you need to swap it out, you can swap it out. The intake plenum, the wonderful intake, how it's set up here, just everything is set up perfectly for people that understand driving and are about that race car life, you know. So I would say the third type of buyer is the people that are very knowledgeable about racing and track times, and, you know, the real race car drivers. Basically, they would get this. Like, they may have something else expensive, you know what I mean? And because I know a lot of people, I know a lot of guys that have Porsche GT3s, but then they also have FL5 Honda Civic Type R. And I've had a couple of them even comment on the channel and tell me that they actually get more driving enjoyment out of the Honda Civic Type R, even compared to their Porsche, which is crazy to me. But, you know, I guess sometimes it's more enjoyable to drive a slow car fast than a fast car in regular conditions, you know what I mean? Because with a GT3, there's only a few situations where you really get to enjoy that car, and I guess it would be on the track. With this, you can enjoy it on the street, on the track, in many different conditions, so I get that. So that's basically the third type of buyer, is really the race car driver, you know, race car friends, right? So that's another one. Then you have a fourth type of buyer, where they're just well-to-do. They just got the money, because let's be honest, these cars are not cheap. Like, I'll do a whole video explaining like how much I purchased this for and everything, but I was able to get this for $55,000, and I considered it at the time to be a deal. Like, it was a deal for me. So that, you know, so there's some people that may just have the extra money, and they'll be like, man, what's all the hype about this Honda Civic Type R? I keep hearing everything Honda Civic Type R. Let me just buy one. So those people with disposable incomes, they would get this car as well, because they just want to see what all the hype is about, and they got the money to do it. So that's another type of buyer for this. And then now I'll get into the fifth and final buyer. And these are the most reluctant type of buyers to get these, but they're the ones that get it and fall deeply in love. So let me get into that. All right, so it started to rain, as you guys can see here. It just started pouring, so I'm gonna bring it back into the garage. It's crazy, man. This is Florida life for you. So yeah, we're getting the reverse angle here, and yes, so you guys get to see the reverse camera in action here. And I think it leads us into who the fifth buyer of this car is, right? And I would say the fifth buyer of this car is somebody that has been looking for like an all-around great car, and the market has gotten so crazy that they can no longer get the type of cars that they want. Like, they can't go out and get a manual gearbox scat pack, you know, a Challenger scat pack. They can no longer go out and get a Camaro SS1 Elite, which is what I traded in to get this Honda Civic Type R. All right, actually, let me start it back up. All right. They can no longer get a Mazda Speed 3, you know, there's a lot of, they can no longer get a Subaru WRX STI. They can no longer get these cars, so they've been searching and looking at different cars. They probably went through the WRX, the new VB WRX. They've probably been through the Golf GTI, the Golf Rs, you know, and they've looked and looked and looked. They've looked at the Hyundai Elantra, the Toyota, the GR Corolla, and they went and test drove all of them. And then when they finally test drove this Honda Civic Type R, they realized, like, man, this car is amazing. Like, and those are the ones that will keep buying this car over and over, because they were searching for something else, but then they landed on the Honda Civic Type R and they realized, like, the Honda Log R and stuff like that, like, just how amazingly special this vehicle is. Like, all the different things that it's able to do for you. Like, they realize it and they appreciate it, and those are the people that will continue to come back and buy this car. So, you know, you have a lot of different people, but out of all of them, I think that last category, the people that has just been looking for like their halo car, and they've gone and they test drive and they've gone to a bunch of different dealerships and stuff like that. They've driven the Acura Integra Type S, and then they drove this Honda Civic Type R, and they realized just how unique and special the driving characteristics of it is. That's the final type of buyer. And I think that's, you know, probably going to be the recurring buyer of this vehicle. So anytime there's a new update or a new generation, I think they're gonna keep buying it, because they were looking for that halo car, and, you know, the Honda Civic Type R just ended up being it for them. And that's, hopefully, if Honda continue to make these cars as good as they do, and they keep them as like driver focused as these current FL5s are, if they continue to do that, I think they're gonna keep getting all of those type of buyers that I mentioned. But I want you guys to comment below and let me know, do you agree with the list of buyers that I said would potentially buy this car? And if not, let me know who you think the potential buyers for these cars are. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Race Car Friends, out. I'm gonna give you guys some of the background scenes of what it's like getting ready to shoot a video. Like, most of the work I've already done but yeah, so like I've got my lighting and stuff set up, and we just had like a little hurricane pass through here, so I gotta bring the car out to shoot it. Well, I don't know, I may or may not, but you see what the ground looks like there. So first thing I gotta do before I can shoot is get this bad boy right here and assemble it. Just put this in here. And first things first, out of the shot, so I can go ahead and get a decent looking video going for you guys. But yeah, that's just part of what it takes with being a YouTuber.